exile, the name was changed to Nisan.
Right.
It fell about the time of our March and early April.
Right. Late March to early April. When the new moon comes in that time, that begins the first month of the year. We determine the month by the moon. Everybody understand that? Every time it was a new moon, it's a new month. All right. This is how the Lord's lunar solar calendar works. Okay. That every new moon is a new month. So when the new moon comes into play, late March or early April, wherever it lands in that time period, that is the new year. So we don't ever have to be confused on the new year. Okay? It always will land late March, early April, within that time period. There's only going to be one moon within that time period. Okay? And that one moon that falls in that time period is the new moon. It's the new year. Everybody understand that? All right. So right now, we're in the second month of the year. So it hasn't even been, we're in the 15th day of the second month. So it's only been about 45 days since we observed the new moon. 2 weeks after we observed the new moon was the Passover. The Passover was on what? The 14th day of the first month at even, which is the 15th day. Okay? This is when the new moon was. So now it's been 1 month since the Passover, since the Lord passed over and killed all the Egyptian firstborn. All right? So it's only been 1 month. All right, read on.
Verse 3, the book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Israel said unto them, who to the Most High, we had died by the head of the Most High in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
Again, because they lack faith, they saying, why didn't if the Most High was planning to kill us, why did he kill us while we was in Egypt? When we sat by the flesh pots. What does that mean? When they had what? Food in abundance, right? They had food in Egypt. Even though they were slaves, they had food though. So now they're in the wilderness, free from their captivity, and they're like, man, he could have left us in Egypt when we sat by the flesh pots. And he could have killed us there, so we out here hungry. So what? They murmured against the Most High and the wonderful works he's done. Tell them where you're at.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 4.
Right, Exodus 16 and 4. All right, read.
Then said the Most High unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you.
All right.
And the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day.
So to suffice their hunger, the Most High told to Moses that what? They're going to bring bread from heaven onto you. All right. Literally, food is going to fall from the sky. Okay, when it says from heaven, it means from the sky. All right, read on.
That I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no.
Right, come on.
Verse 5. Mm-hmm. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, at even, then ye shall know that the Most High hath brought you out from the land of Egypt. Verse 7. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Most High, for that he heareth your murmurings against the Most High. And what are we that ye murmur against us?
Right, so what? He says he's going to send a manna from heaven so he can prove them. See what spirit is really in these people. See if they're really going to serve God. He said he's going to give them 2 portions on the 6th day, so that there's enough for the 7th day. This was a proving ground. He was testing the people with this manna. He wasn't just feeding them, he was testing them. Because the people was murmuring against Moses and Aaron. What do you mean? They were speaking against them behind their backs. It was backbiting, talking behind them. Saying, man, they brought us out here. We're going to die for hunger. They should have left us in Egypt. Right? That's that wicked spirit that was on the people. All right, Jeff? Say it again. Do you already know the results of what? He didn't test him yet. He said, I'm going to test him. He's lining us up for the test. The man didn't come down yet. He's telling us about what he's going to do. All right, so the test is coming. All right, read on.
Verse 8, the book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 8. And Moses said, this shall be when the Most High shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full.
Come on.
For that the Most High heareth your murmurings, which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Most High.
And you got to realize that when you speak the words of the Heavenly Father, when you're representing what the scriptures say, and if somebody has a problem with you, it's not with you. It's not personal. Okay? You have a problem with what came out of me, but it's the word of the Most High, then you got a problem with the Heavenly Father. All right? They spoke against Moses and Aaron, but Moses and Aaron was only doing what the Most High told them to do. They weren't doing their own thing. They didn't decide one day, you know what, we're going to lead these people out of Egypt. Right? Moses didn't even want to do it when the Most High came to him in the bush. He thought he said, I can't do it. I'm not an eloquent speaker. He said, don't worry, get Aaron. Aaron will speak for you. And I'm going to make you a god unto Pharaoh. All right? That's all the dealings of the Heavenly Father. Right? We go forth to teach his word. And when any of you speak this word, understand, if somebody got a problem with it, you can't take it personal. Oh, he don't like me because I told him the truth. No, he don't like the Most High. He don't, it's not me that I'm speaking. I'm speaking the words of the Father. Okay, read.
Verse 9. And Moses spake unto Aaron, say unto the congregation of the children of Israel, come near before the Most High, for he hath heard your murmurings. Verse 10. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Most High appeared in the cloud. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel.
Come on.
Speak unto them, saying, at even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am the Most High, your power.
Come on.
Verse 13. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp. And in the morning the dew lay round about the host. Verse 14. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hull first on the ground. Verse 15. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said one to another, is it manna? Not what it was. And Moses said unto them, this is the bread which the Most High hath given you to eat.
So what did they get to eat? Bread and what? And quail, right? What is quail? Okay. Right, it's like a bird. Like that's what you see, like chicken or dove. It's more like a dove. Yeah, I know what quail is. It's made like a dove, right? We just clowning about the chicken thing, all right? So they got meat and bread, so they can eat. Okay? Huh?
Is it bird unclean?
No. Depends what bird, right? Now, all birds are not in the same category. There's unclean birds and there's clean birds, right? Chicken is a bird. It's clean. Turkey is a bird. It's clean, right? But don't eat a hawk, right? That's unclean. Vulture is unclean. A hawk, a dove is clean. Turtle dove, right? Right? But you can't eat a duck, right? That's unclean. All right, so there's different clean and unclean birds, right? Every animal species is clean and unclean, right? There's clean and unclean insects, I don't know if anybody want to eat insects, but right, there are insects that you can eat, right? Right, locusts, maybe locusts. I don't see nobody lining up for locusts, but you know, you just talking about clean and unclean. Okay, so we go to Leviticus the 11th chapter to get all that information. Okay, read on.
Verse 16. This is the thing which the Most High hath commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating,
Right.
and omer of every man,
Right.
according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents.
Right. So what? Gather what you need. Don't gather extra. Gather what you need. An omer for every man. An omer is a unit of measurement. You know. So grab, you know, like a pail. Grab what you need. So every man according to his eating. All right. You know.
Verse 17.
And
the children of Israel did so, and gathered some more, some less. Verse 18. And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. Verse 19. And Moses said, let no man leave of it till the morning.
Read it again.
Let no man leave of it till the morning.
Meaning that eat it up, because in the morning there should be nothing left. Right? Let none of it leave to the morning. All right? This is the order from the Most High God. Read on.
Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses.
Of course not. Right? Moses gave them clear instruction. Don't leave any for the morning. Of course they didn't listen. Right? Because Israel has this problem. Right? Y'all might know about this problem. We are very hard-headed people. Right? We're stiff-necked. We want to do what we want to do. We don't want to follow instructions. All right? Until we're made to follow instructions, that's when we decide to follow. But if nobody don't force us, all right, we do what we feel like doing. All right? What you got?
Isaiah
30 verse 9?
chapter 30 and verse 9.
That's what I was thinking.
That this is a rebellious people.
This is a what?
A rebellious people.
Right now we're in Isaiah 30 verse 9. Right? This is a precept we're pulling just to further prove how rebellious and stiff-necked of a people we are. Okay. Read that again.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 9.
Come on.
That this is a rebellious people. Lying children.
What kind of children?
Lying children.
Read on.
Children that will not hear the law of the Most High.
Come on.
Which say to the seers, see not.
Right.
And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
Right.
But speak unto us smooth things.
That's why we want to hear smooth things. We want to hear that Jesus loves you. Right? This I know what the Bible tells me so. Right? That's smooth. That can't be smoother than that. Right? But we're gonna go to give them sound instruction according to the scripture. But our people rebel against sound instruction. Okay. Give me Isaiah 1 and 1 and 2. Give me Isaiah 1 and 2.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth.
Come on.
For the Most High hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children.
Right, who the children of Israel are. Come on.
And they have rebelled against me.
What do?
They have rebelled against me.
We constantly rebel against the Heavenly Father. When you sin, you're rebelling against the Father. When you want to do something other than what the Father told you to do, it's because you have a rebellious spirit. When it's very difficult to keep God's commandments, the commandment is not the problem. It's the rebel spirit that's in you that's the problem. Commandment is easy to keep. The Father say, don't do this, do this. You don't do it, do it. Right? You know, it's not complicated. But because in our mind we want to rebel, we kind of want to do things our own way. We don't want to follow. We want to lead. Right? That becomes the issue. Now you're wrestling with the commandments of the Most High instead of just freely keeping it. Okay? The Father said 6 days shall our work be done, and in the seventh day it's the Sabbath. Meaning that we're not supposed to be working on the Sabbath day, From Friday sundown to Saturday sundown is the Sabbath. It's set aside. It's set apart to what? To the worship of the Heavenly Father. That's not difficult to do. All right. We make it difficult because we worry about everything else, right? You know, and we find excuses to match the rebelliousness that's in us already, right? When we decide to keep the Sabbath, when we really decide to keep the Sabbath, nobody can stop you from keeping the Sabbath. You realize that, right? That is a lot easier than you think, right? As long as in your spirit, in your mind, you will not defy the word of the Most High. Okay? You will not be defiant. Okay? So, but we have this rebellious spirit that we got to work on. Okay? One more rebellious spirit. 1 Samuel's. Yeah, 15:22. Yeah, 1 Samuel 15, verse 22.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15 and verse 22.
Come on.
And Samuel said,
What he said?
Hath the Most High as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Most High?
Right.
Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice.
You know?
Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than fat of rams.
Right.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
It's like you're a witch when you rebel. It's like the sin of witchcraft. It's like believing in another God. When you serve another way, when you believe something else can be done other than the way the Father said, yeah, I know the Bible says that, but this is 2018. Things is different now. Right? When you got that spirit on you, the Father's law doesn't have an expiration date. The Father's law is valid throughout all generations. All right? He said his law, it continues forever. So we can't get that thought pattern, okay, you know what? That was what it said back then. We're not going to do that now. That's just rebellion, masking itself in your spirit. Once you realize that when you come against the word of Yah, no matter what your reasoning is, it's all rebellion, right? And you got to tell yourself, I got to get this rebellious spirit off of myself. I got to stop being so rebellious. Tell it to yourself so somebody don't tell it to you, right? The best way is to check yourself so nobody got to check you, right? If you got a problem with people checking you, check yourself, right? Scripture say examine yourself, right? No, you're not, that you are in this word and the truth, all right? I see you got verses over there. What you got?
The book of Baruch. In the Apocrypha, on page 105, if you have the red Apocrypha. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1.
Yeah, Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. Come when you got it.
The book of Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High.
Right.
And the law that endureth forever.
For how long?
Forever.
For how long?
Forever.
The law is forever. Come on.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
Right.
But such as leave it shall die.
I mean, how plain is that? That doesn't need any breakdown. I don't need to explain that. All right, let's get back to Exodus.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 20.
Notwithstanding,
they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it until the morning.
Right? I'm going to stack mine. This is good. I'm going to save some of this for the morning. I know Moses told us not to keep it till the morning, but this was tasting good. Yeah? Of course, we cook our food. No, it doesn't show up cooked for us. We had to take the quail, we had to clean it and cook it. Kill it, clean it, and cook it, right? That's on us, okay? We wasn't just like grabbing the quail and just, all right? We're not Moab, all right? That's Moab, all right? Yes, that would be very unclean if you did that, right? Because we can't eat of the blood, right? You cannot ingest blood. We're never to eat of the blood. Everybody understand that? We don't eat blood. That's against the law of the Heavenly Father. Okay?
Where was it?
Right? No, I don't want to go piece of that. I hope everybody understand we don't eat blood, right? I don't think I got to get a precept to explain to you why you can't eat blood. Although there is precepts in the scriptures, right? But ain't nobody vampires up in here. Okay? So we're not going to drink no blood. Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16, verse 20. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it until the morning. And he bred worms.
And did what?
And he bred worms.
And it bred worms and what?
And it stank.
And it stank. Right? Most High put some stank on that, right? Just because he knew they was going to be rebellious. Right? He could have let it continue for another day because he's gonna prove that. But he made sure that it bred worms and that it stunk because of their disobedience. That's why he bred worms and it stunk. A lot of time we don't realize things go wrong. We suffer certain things just because we're being disobedient. Right? That's the only reason why we're suffering these things. Had we been obedient, we wouldn't be suffering. These are the examples that the Father tried to show us in the scripture. If you just trust the Most High, you won't suffer. But if you want to do things your own way, guaranteed. Especially if you're his child. It's like our children. Right? We went over that example. If they're going to be rebellious, they're going to feel the pain. They're going to get judgment. There's no two ways about it. All right? Read on.
And Moses was wroth with them. Verse 21. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating. And when the sun waxed hot, it melted. Verse 22. And it came to pass that on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for 1 man.
Right.
And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. Verse 23. And he said unto them, this is that which the Most High hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Most High. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that ye will seethe, and that which remains over lay up for you to be kept until the morning.
Right. So tomorrow was what? The Sabbath day. So he said, bake what you're going to bake today. Seethe what you're going to seethe. Seethe means to what? To boil, to make like soup. That's what seething is. Right? If you're going to make up some stew, do it today. If you're going to bake this manna into bread, do it today. Because tomorrow is the Sabbath. And what about the Sabbath? Can we cook on the Sabbath? No. They understood that they can't cook on the Sabbath. That's why he said on the 6th day, do all these things. So that when the Sabbath comes, it's already prepared. The day before the Sabbath is called the day of preparation. Everybody understand that? That's what that day is called in the scripture. The day of preparation. Okay. You want a precept to prove it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exodus chapter 35 and verse 3.
So he's going to bring a precept to prove that we cannot cook on the Shabbat day. Read that.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the Sabbath day.
Right. So no fire should be kindled. In order to seethe and according to bake, you got to what? You got to kindle the fire. Okay? Right? And those of us today that got microwaves, I kid you not, that's a fire. So if that's your question, right? That is a fire. Okay? That is used to warm your food. Okay? To cook. All right? If you leave it in there too long, it's going to burn it up. Right? So it is a fire. Okay? So we not to microwave our food or anything like that on the Sabbath day. All right? If you got to, that's why it says, bake what you're going to bake and leave it up until the next day. All right? So if you have something that can contain heat, right? For instance, a thermos, right? That's not wicked because there's nothing actively happening to warm that food. It's continuing in its heat. All right? So that's why he said lay it up for the next day. Okay? So you can do that, but you don't want to microwave or toast the oven or whatever you got going on, not on the Sabbath day. All right? Come. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 24. And they let it up till the morning, as Moses bade, and it did not stink. Neither was there any worm therein.
Right, so how's that? Then on the 6th day, they laid it up for the next day, and it didn't stink. And there was no worms in it. It was fine. How is that? Because the Most High did that to prove that. It wasn't a scientific reason that the thing went bad, that the manna went bad. The Most High made it go bad. Okay? He has the power. Yahweh's the power. He can make it go bad, or he can make it be just fine. All right? Well, that humbles our mind when it comes to the Most High. Saying he does have control. Right? We don't have control. He got control. All right? So he can determine, science tries to come with a scientific reason for everything. Right? But then who created science? Not the Most High. All right? Real science. All right? So he's in control of it. All right? What you got?
The book of Psalm, chapter 115 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
But our power is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased.
That's right. He does whatsoever he is pleased. Okay. Psalms 115, verse 3. All right, let's go back to Exodus.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses said, eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto the Most High. Today ye shall not find it in the field.
Right. Read on.
Verse 26. 6 days ye shall gather it, but on the seventh day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none.
Right. Why? Is it because the Sabbath, we're not going to be out there gathering on the Sabbath. That's not a day to go out there and be gathering. Right? A man was found gathering sticks on the Sabbath. What happened to him? Right. The Most High had a man stoned to death for gathering sticks. Why? Because he was what? Violating the Shabbat. Right? And purposely violating the Shabbat. Now we understand, in this society, there's situations that come about that's beyond our control. And it may come about on the Sabbath, which may cause us to do things that's out of the normal for the Sabbath, right? Right? One of my children was born on the Sabbath. I don't got control over that, right? I can't say, hey, listen, stop. Get back up in there. It's the Sabbath. Wait for tomorrow. You're breaking the Sabbath. No, you don't have control over that. The Most High is in control of that situation. So sometimes you got to deal with the situation as it comes. Let's prove that in the scripture. Let's get Matthew. That's 12, right? Matthew 12 and 1.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 1. At that time, Hamashiach went on the Sabbath day to the corn.
Right, so it's on the Sabbath day, and we got the Messiah, right, going through the corn as he traveled. Right?
And his disciples were hungry.
Right, and his disciples was with him, and they was hungry, and it was the Sabbath day. Read on.
And began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat.
Right, so they walking through the corn. Corn was looking real ripe, smelling good. Pluck some ears, and they start eating the corn as they going through the corn. Read on.
But when the Pharisees saw it,
right,
they said unto him, behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day.
So now the Pharisees, right, these was the heads of the synagogues, right? Kind of like what you call the heads of the churches nowadays, right? The T.D. Jakes and the Creflo Dollars and the Fred Prices and all these men that sit in high esteem, high stature in the churches, the so-called black churches, right? So they saw the disciples plucking this corn, and they said, hey, these guys breaking the Sabbath, right? In their own mind, they were breaking the Sabbath, right? Read on.
Verse 3, what he said unto them, have ye not read that what David did when he was a hungry, right, and they that were with him, how he entered into the house of the Most High,
right,
and did eat of the shewbread?
Right. So when did he eat the showbread? Why did he eat the showbread? What was the situation? Who was he running from? David. He was running from Saul. Saul was seeking to kill David. So they went and got refuge And that's why he ended up eating the showbread. Not like it was food in his house and he decided, you know what? I'm going to eat the showbread. Right? That would be wicked. But because of the situation that he was in, he was on the run and he was seeking refuge in the sanctuary, and then he ate of the showbread because it was an emergency situation. But he normally wouldn't do that. Okay? You know?
Which was not lawful for him to eat.
Come on.
Neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests.
Right.
Verse 5. Or have you not read in the law how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath,
right?
And are blameless?
Right. Well, how does the priest profane the Sabbath on the Sabbath day? What do? They kindle fire, right? Why do they kindle fire? For what reasons? For the menorah is 1, the incense is 2, sacrifice is 3. So they killing all kind of fires on the Sabbath day. But what? It's not for their own gain, right? It was for the Most High. Read on.
Verse 6. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple.
Right. He said, I'm greater than the temple. Right. Read on.
Verse 7. But if he had known what this means, I will have mercy and not sacrifice.
Right. I will have mercy and not sacrifice. I mean, that what? We're supposed to be merciful. Right? Our people only trying to kill each other, trying to find a reason to put each other to judgment. He said, why are you trying to put me to judgment instead of having mercy? I'm with the men. We on the move. We just crapping something to eat. We're not being unlawful or ignoring the Sabbath day. Right? We don't.
You would have not condemned the guiltless.
You would not have condemned what? The guiltless. Meaning that these men did not break the commandment of the Most High. What you got?
Of the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 25.
Hold on. Deuteronomy 22, 25. Let's get it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 25.
Come on.
When thou comest into the standing corn of thy neighbor, then thou mayest pluck the ears with thine hand.
Right. So what? It's according to the law, when you walk through the standing corn, you may pluck the ears with your hand. Read on.
But thou shalt not move a sickle unto thy neighbor's standing corn.
Right, but you can't start pulling out a cutlass and trimming down your neighbor's garden. Deuteronomy 22, 25.
Yeah. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 25.
So like you looking at it?
Deuteronomy chapter 22. Sorry, 23, 25.
Okay, sorry. 23, 25. Everybody's trying to follow along. Like, what is this man speaking? What is he? He's speaking not what the scriptures say. All right, that's a beautiful thing. I'm glad y'all stopped me. We went through the whole verse and nobody said nothing. But y'all not even paying attention. But y'all paying attention. Hallelujah.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 25.
God.
When thou comest into the standing corn of thy neighbor, then thou mayest pluck the ears with thine hand. But thou shalt not move a sickle unto thy neighbor's standing corn.
Right. So your neighbor will share with you. We had a way where we were as a nation. If I had my corn in my vineyard and you was passing by and you were hungry, you could come into my garden, take a couple pieces, eat, and keep it moving. Right? But you can't come with a basket, right? It's like down here in Florida, a lot of people have what? Mango trees, right? Come mango season, you'll be crazy to go to the store and buy a mango when they're all over the trees. But some people, they want to act funny, right? You go to get a mango, they're like, oh, what you touching my mangoes for? You got like 1,000 mangoes on the tree. I said, are you manufacturing mangoes? Because if I don't eat it, it's just going to fall on the floor, right? Some people tell you, come on in, come get mangoes. Some people try to give you a basket, right? And you just, no, I just wanted one. And they try to bombard you with mangoes, right? But some people, I've been at both situations where the mango is practically coming over the fence. Technically, this is anybody's mango, right? The tree might be on your property, but this mango right here is anybody's mango. It's over the sidewalk, right? But, our people, the love of many shall wax cold in the last days. So they would act funny with their mango, right? So keep your old mango then, right? There's a next tree up the block, right? And we go to the block, and then the lady wanted to give me a whole basket of mangoes, right? So see that? You should give some of these to that guy down the street, right? But that's neither here nor there, right? The reality of it, in our law, in the commandments, if we had our vineyard or our garden or our corn, standing corn, somebody's passing through, they can pluck some of the corn and they can keep moving, right? Because we took care of each other like that. We had abundance. That's how we dealt with each other, right? We actually, when we reap the harvest, we always used to leave what is called the gleanings. The gleanings is the edges. We would leave the edges just in case somebody we passing through town, they will have something to eat. So we had our own kind of welfare system. You know what I mean? That we look forward to somebody else needing, right? That they have you have something for them. Okay. The scriptures talk about it even when we reap our money in these last days. We're supposed to not spend every last dime we have. We're supposed to keep something aside just in case somebody needs something. That's charity. Okay. That's a charitable mentality, and it's written about in the scriptures. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, that it's in our law that we had something left for somebody else. Right? Read that. Read that verse again.
Yeah,
23 and 25.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 25. When thou comest into the standing corn of thy neighbor, then thou mayest pluck the ears with thine hand, but thou shalt not move a sickle unto thy neighbor's standing corn.
Right. All right. So let's go back now.
The book of Exodus.
Not Exodus. Back to Matthew.
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 8.
Right.
For the Son of Man is at one even of the Sabbath day.
Right. He said, I'm Lord of the Sabbath day. Meaning that I know how to keep the Sabbath day. I gave you the Sabbath day. All right. He said, I know the Sabbath day. You trying to check me on the Sabbath day. How do you try to check the Messiah on the Sabbath day? Talking about you doing something wicked. It's like I'm Lord of the Sabbath day. Who are you talking to? Right? Read on.
Verse 9. And when he was departed thence, he went into the synagogue. And behold.
Why did he go into the synagogue? Because it's the Sabbath day. It's a holy convocation. Right? That's why you're in the synagogue. Right? The word synagogue in Hebrew means chief house. Right? It's a house where they gather. It's a place of gathering. All right. Time we gather, we call it a Knesset. It's called a synagogue. It's called, a place of convocation. That's all it is. All right. So we are here in a place of convocation. So he went into the synagogue. He went into the place of convocation on the Sabbath day because that's what the law says to do. Right? Read on.
And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered.
Right. A man had his hand jacked up. Read on.
And they asked him, saying, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days?
Come on.
That they might accuse him.
Right. So they try to check him. So what you going to do? Heal this man? Because they heard he been healing people. So they try to catch him out. They said, what you going to heal him on the Sabbath day? Like something was wrong with that. Right. Read on.
And he said unto them, what man shall there be among you?
Among you, come on.
That shall have one sheep, and if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it?
Right.
And lift it out? Verse 12. How much then is a man better than a sheep?
Right. So he said, you men that have sheep, if the sheep fell into a hole, would you not take the time and take him out the hole? Or are you going to say it was the Sabbath? I'll come back for you? No, you would say, oh man, my sheep. Right? And you go in there and get him out the hole and make sure he's all right. Right? You going to go there and get him. Right? Look at that situation. We all situations come up out of our control. It might be the Sabbath day. You take care of it. But you don't intentionally set things up. You make sure you use the day of preparation, that things don't befall you on the Sabbath day. But if something were to happen, you get a flat tire, right? You don't pull over, oh, I got a flat tire. Lock your door, the keys, leave the car there. I'll be back after the Sabbath. You change the tire and move your car, right? I know it's a Sabbath, and I know you're working to get this thing fixed, but it was what? Unintentional. It's an emergency situation. This is what the Messiah is bringing to their understanding, right? That the Most High is about mercy, not sacrifice. You got to be merciful. right? But you always have to make sure that you're not using this as a tool to sin, okay? But as for things unforeseen, okay? What you got?
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
Very important, right? We get wisdom, and when we get this wisdom, we got to get understanding. Understanding is what? When to apply, right? The wisdom is what? The understanding is when, right? Is this the right time? That's when understanding come on. Is this the right time for this? You got to have understanding, right? Wisdom is the word of the Most High, right? The law, statutes, commandments, that's wisdom, right? Knowledge is what? History, right? But understanding is very important, is when to apply what knowledge at what time, what wisdom at what time. That's understanding. So he understood, right, how to apply the wisdom of the Shabbat day. And he was trying to show them they misunderstood the Shabbat day. All right, we know.
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 12. How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore, it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath day.
It's lawful to do good on the Sabbath day. Right? I heard somebody once told me, oh, y'all brothers go out and teach on the Sabbath, but that's work, brother. You got to carry the signs. You got to go outside. And I looked at him like, are you out of your mind? But that's how you become a Pharisee with the law. All you read was thou shalt not work. You didn't see anything past that. Where's your understanding? Where's your breakdown? Where's you putting that into context and understand? You got to do that with the word of the Most High. You can't just blindly read a law and think you're going to robot all of a sudden. Situations happen. What about this situation? What about that situation? Right? What you going to do then? Okay. So we always have to keep our minds thinking. You know, this law is for a living. It's for the living. It's not for the dead. All right. So we, as a living beings, have to apply the law to the best of our ability at the right times. All right, in the right way. Everybody understand that? All right. So the Mashiach was checking them on this on how they came at him about the corn. All right. That's we done on that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go back to Exodus.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 27. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the Sabbath day for to gather, and they found none.
There goes Israel again. He said there'll be none out there on the Sabbath day. Don't gather on the Sabbath day. Israel goes out looking for it on the Sabbath day. Okay. So understand we come from generations and generations of rebellious people. All right. We ain't just stopped being rebellious last week. All right. This is something that's been in our people from day one. But you don't be that rebellious one. You be the one that what? Stayed inside. Because you know they're not out there because they're saying the Most High. All right. What you got?
Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are savage children. They have no understanding. They are wise to do evil,
right? But
to do good.
Do what?
To do good.
Read on.
They have none understanding.
They have none understanding. They can think of every reason why to break the commandment. How about the reasons why to keep it? And how about those reasons? All right, so let's go back.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 28.
That was Jeremiah 4:22. So make sure you write that down. That's another heavy precept to reference. All right. The Most High doesn't want us, to be wrapped up with reasons why, explanations of why we didn't keep the commandment. The explanation don't matter to the Most High. All right. He want to hear how you overcame those obstacles and kept the commandment. That's what he wants to hear. All right. So we got to make sure we do things in the right manner.
Exodus chapter 16 and verse 28. And the Most High said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws?
Right.
Verse 29.
Mind you, this is only the second month, man. We're only in the 15th day of the second month. And he's already asking how long are you guys going to be rebellious? Listen, this thing just started. He has no idea the rebellion that's in Israel. That's about to go on for years and years and years to come. All right?
See, for that the Most High hath given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days.
Right?
Abide ye every man in his place. let no man go out of his place on the seventh day.
Right.
Verse 30. So the people rested on the seventh day, and the house of Israel called the name thereof manna, and it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Verse 32. And Moses said, this is the thing which the Most High commanded. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations,
right,
that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt.
So what? We filled one omer, one bucket, one container of manna. And where's that container of manna? Where's it at now? Who knows? Ooh, boy, that's history. That's a bunch of Hebrews in here. Somebody got to tell me. Where's that manna? Where's that omer of manna at right now? That's right, in the Ark of the Covenant. That's right. You all late, huh? All these priests in the room. All right. In the Ark. Okay. That's where that manna is. All right. That's where it's contained. Okay. You got a priest for the manna in the Ark?
That's not. It says the Ark. Second half of this 2 and 5.
I didn't tell you where the Ark is hidden. That doesn't tell us what's in the Ark. No, that's all right. All right. Read on.
Verse 32. And Moses said, this is the thing which the Most High commanded. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. And Moses said unto Aaron, take a pot and put an omer full of manna therein, and lay it up before the Most High, to be kept for your generations. Verse 34. As the Most High commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years, until they came to a land inhabited. They did eat manna until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Verse 36. Now an omer is the 10th part of an ephah.
Right, just let you know the size, of an omer. So that we ate all 40 years in the wilderness. We ate manna. Okay, Most High blessed us with manna. We ate it in the correct way. And on the 6th day, we grabbed 2 days full, and then we did not looking for it on the Sabbath day anymore. We know it won't be out there. Emmanuel. 29. Read verse 29.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 29. See, for that the Most High has given you the Sabbath. Therefore, he gives you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days.
Right. So on the 6th day, the day of preparation, he gave us the bread of 2 days. I mean, he gave us double the manna came down from the heavens. So the earth came with double. Why? Because we're supposed to gather double. Read on.
Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day.
Right. So on the 7th day now, we abide. There was no need to go out there and gather manna because it wasn't out there. Remember, we read earlier that some still went out there on the 7th day, right? Because they were being disobedient. So he says, abide in your place, stay home. There's no reason to go outside because there's no manna out there. Because I told you already, it's only going to come down on the 6th day. So he's telling them to stay inside because the people were going out to look for manna, and there was no manna out there.
Yeah, some people use that to say, we don't have to even go to the congregation because it's the Shabbat say you have to stay home.
Well, that's because they didn't read the whole story. You got to read stuff in the context. He said, abide in your house. Why? Because the people went out on the 7th day looking for manna, being disobedient. And he said, abide in your house. So that's why it says that. Not for you to stay home every Shabbat day. Okay? How are you going to stay home and go to the convocation? Right? You're either going or you're coming. Now, you shouldn't be cruising the mall. Right? You shouldn't be down by the riverfront or down by A1A. That's not what the Shabbat is about. Oh, I'm going to go take a walk on the beach on the Shabbat. What scripture is that? Right? There's nothing going on at the beach on the Shabbat. All right? Or going up in the park or the park. No. You got to gather. The Shabbat is for gathering. Now, if you want to go out and gather somewhere, we used to have Shabbat service in the park at one time. right? We used to gather in the park. There's nothing wrong with that. But the whole point of Shabbat is to try to gather in the spirit of the Most High. If you have nobody to gather with, and you pray, you worship the Most High, and you might want to find some place to be set apart, from the normal interactions of this world, so you can be set aside to concentrate and meditate on the commandments of the Most High. And you can do that, all right? But, just you trying to mingle amongst, did you go to the beach? Who's at the beach? Everybody, right? All the nations, all the heathens out there. So unless you got a private beach somewhere where nobody else is there, well, then I can understand you're trying to get away with just nature. You go to the beach, everybody out there, right? Now they out there, but they out there, women out there naked, right? Men out there naked too, right? So how are you in the spirit? You're in the wrong spirit on the Shabbat day, right? So you should be seeing all that, right? Especially on the Sabbath day. So we want to refrain our eyes and our minds from worldly things on the Shabbat day. It says,
what if you gather with your family on the Sabbath?
That's good. That's good. If your family want to gather together and have a convocation, like I said, if there's no convocation to go to, then you just gather with your family, right? I met a lot of brothers. We went to San Diego last weekend, and a lot of brothers came up that was not a part of a congregation, right? But they would keep the Sabbath, and they would do what they got to do. But they only had their group. They only their family know the Sabbath, so they would gather with their group. But if you have a congregation, then you don't forsake the assembly to gather just with your own family, because you're supposed to bring your family to gather the whole congregation. If everybody did that, there would be no gathering. There'd be no convocation. You understand? Convocation is when the families come together on the Shabbat. So let's see.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
Right, not forsaking of the assembling of ourselves together. So we got to come as a body and come into one place. Wherever that place may be, it don't really matter, but you come into one place,
As the manner of some is.
Right, and some do that. Some say, you know what, I'm not going to the convocation. I'm going to gather with me, myself, and I. 3 of us right here. So we're going to gather together, right? No. Or I'm just going to gather with just me and my wife. If you have the ability to come to the convocation, come to the convocation. That's what I'm saying. If there's some reason why you can't come to the convocation, maybe you're unclean, right? Maybe you are, because it's still the Sabbath if you're unclean. Right? Sometimes that's another thing that come up, right? Sometimes sisters unclean, right? Meaning they're on their cycle, right? And the Sabbath come up, and they're like, it's not the Sabbath, because they can't go to the convocation. No, you cannot go to the convocation because you will bring the uncleanness amongst the rest of the congregation, but it's still the Sabbath. So you keep the Sabbath at home. You keep the Sabbath, maybe there's some other sisters that's unclean, and y'all keep unclean anyway, right? So y'all can't make each other unclean, right? So you can keep the Sabbath that way. So there's other ways to gather to keep the Sabbath, right? These are all ideas, right? On how to keep the law, okay?
How about the scripture that says, where 2 or 3 are gathered together, he's right there in the midst?
Right. Yeah, always. That's any day, right? That's every day. But 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he is there with them, right? It's not talking about the Most High is not with you if you're not here, but we're talking about trying to be obedient to the law. Give me Leviticus 23. Right. Give me Leviticus 23.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 3. 6 days shall work be done. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
Right.
And holy convocation.
A what?
And holy convocation.
It's a holy convocation. What does the word convocation mean? A gathering. It's a holy gathering. So we got to make it. We got to make the Shabbat what it is, right? We won't have a convocation without all of you, right? If I was here sitting by myself, I wouldn't be convocated. I'd be by myself. It has to be a gathering. So whether we have a glorious Shabbat or not, it's up to you all, right? Now, if we decide, all right, well, I don't, I'm on my own thing, and I'm just going to keep Shabbat however I want to do it. Yeah, you can do that, but that's being an individualite, right? With an individualite mentality. We try to be Israelites. We trying to gather together. Remember, give me Zephaniah 2, verse 1. Remember, this is part of what? This is part of the work. Part of the work is us gathering together, extending your family. This is your new family, okay? We got family in the world, with family according to blood ties. That's one family. But this is your spiritual family, those that are keeping the commandments. Right? Read that.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Gather
yourselves together.
Right?
Yea, gather together, O nation.
O family.
O nation.
O family.
O nation.
O nation. Read on.
Not desire.
So we got to gather the families together. A nation is a group of families. Bring your family to the convocation. That's the gathering of the nation. Okay, everybody see that? That's what the Father requires of us. Okay, we got brothers here traveled 2.5 hours to convocate with us. Right? That's a beautiful thing. Right? That shows a dedication to what the Most High has prescribed for our people to do. Okay, some of us live 10 minutes away and can't make it to the Sabbath. Right? You wonder, right? Maybe there's a difference of understanding. Maybe there's something broken in the understanding, and we could all deal with that. Maybe you feel like I'm keeping the Sabbath over here. Okay? Because I'm not buying, I'm not selling, I'm not giving to my pleasures or anything of that sort. So I'm keeping the Sabbath. But then what? Am I complicated? Right? Am I complicated? Oh man, am I complicated? On that part of the Sabbath, I fall short. So we got to make sure we're not falling short, that we don't complicate. We must complicate. Right, read?
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass at the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you.
All right, drop that. All right, so we read not to forsake the assembly. We read that it's a holy convocation. And we read we got to gather together as a nation. So for all these reasons, we understand that we got to come together as our families got to come together, right? And this is your new family. When you're in this truth, this is a family. It's not just people. You know, if you're in a train, you're in a train with a bunch of people. When you come in here, you're amongst family, right? These are your brothers, your sisters. Israel is a family. There's a father and his 12 sons that created the nation of Israel. That means we all cousins, right? We all cousins before anything else. We're cousins in this one. All right? Give me that in Matthew's. Who's my mother, my brother, my sister? Those that keep the laws of the Most High. Huh? Matthew 12:43.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 43.
No. It's 48.
Yeah, Matthew chapter 12 and verse 48. I'm sorry, 47. 46. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 46. Okay. While he yet talked to the people,
right,
behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him.
Right.
Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without.
Right. So now normally our mother and our brothers, we consider our family, right? That's what we consider our family. We don't really consider, we like our cousin, our mother, our brother, our sister. That's what we recognize to be our family. So when Christ was speaking, his actual mother, his brother, was standing wanting to speak to Christ as he was talking to the congregation.
Desiring to speak with thee.
Right.
But he answered and said unto them that told him, who is my mother?
He said, who is my mother?
And who are my brethren?
Who are my brethren? He asked the question, who is my mother and my brother? Now mind you, his mother and his brother standing right over there. Right? And what did he say? Read on.
And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples.
He stretched his hand towards the 12 disciples. And what did he say? Read.
And said, behold, my mother.
This is my mother.
And my brethren.
This is my brethren. So what is he saying? This is my what? Family. Right? He said the disciple was his family, Christ. Not his biological mother and his biological brother. But the disciples was his family. Why did he say this? Read on.
For whosoever shall do the will of my Father.
For whosoever does the will of my Father.
Which is in heaven.
Which is in heaven. Come on.
The same is my brother.
Right.
And my sister.
Right.
And my mother.
That's my family. Everybody say that? You understand? That's your new family. Your family is those that's keeping the commandments along with you. That's your family, right? But you might have a brother, sister, cousin, uncle. They might have nothing to do with the commandments. Now, biologically, they're your family, but spiritually, they're not. because they are not doing the will of your Father that's in heaven. That's your new family. This is your new family. Those that's going to keep the commandments of God. Those are on the same road that you're on. Because you might have biological family members, but if they're trying to encourage you to do otherwise than what the commandments say, right? They're taking you away from the Father. So you got to be very mindful of that. I got brothers and family that, I get to speak to sparingly because I can't dwell with them for a long stretch of time because they're not going to go the way of the commandment, right? And I'm not going to go the way of the heathen. So we can two walk together lest they be agreed. The scriptures say la. So, I see when I see you, but I'm going to be here, right? With my family. This is my family, all right? You are my family, all right? That's who my family is. So this is what the Messiah was showing us, that your family are those that are keeping the commandments of the Heavenly Father, that have forsaken this world and the things of this world. All right, that's your family, right? So we definitely keep Sabbath with our family, but this is right here. All right, so is that on that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's go back now to Exodus.
The book of Exodus, chapter 17 and verse 1.
And
all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin, after the journeys, according to the commandment of the Most High, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses and said, Give us water, that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Most High?
Right, so what? What does it say? What were the people doing to Moses now? They said he was what with them?
And the wherefore.
Not you. So now, what were they going to do to Moses now? What was the problem with the people and Moses? Moses been through so much with these people, man. They were what? They were what? The people were angry with Moses about the fact that they was thirsty. Like Moses took all the water, right? Moses is there with them, mind you. He's with them. If they don't have water, guess what? He don't got water either. But they getting mad with Moses. We out here now. Where's the water? All right. Done got fed with manna, fed with quail. Now they complain about the water. Okay. And they're coming at him angrily. They're not asking him, well, go to the Most High, see if he can give us some water. No. They say, where's the water? Like he's their servant now. Right? Pick it up.
Verse 3. And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moses and said, Wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? And Moses cried unto the Most High, saying, What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me.
Yeah, they want to stone me over the water. What am I going to do with these people? All right. Everybody want to be happy with doing their own thing. They want to be served. They don't want to serve. They want to be served. So what am I going to do with these people? Right? We know.
And the Most High said unto Moses, Go on before the people, and take with thee the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river. Take in thy hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel.
Right, so the Most High gave Moses specific instruction. What did he tell him to do? Take his staff, Con. Go up to the mount, Con, of Horeb, and smite the rock, that the Most High might what? Give them what? Water. That the Most High is going to give them water out that rock. That is what the Most High told Moses to do. Go to the mountain, get your staff, out to Horeb, hit the rock, and water's going to come out the rock for the people. All right? Read.
Exodus chapter 17, verse 6. And Moses did so, the elders of Israel. Verse 7. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel.
Right, the chiding was being that what how they were complaining and being angry with Moses. You know?
And because they tempted the Most High, saying, is the Most High among us or not?
Man, you know?
Verse 8. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. And Moses did said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Most High in my hand.
Come on.
So Joshua did as Moses had said to him.
Right, so they grabbed a troop and they're going to go deal with Amalek. Amalek want to come fight with them, right? Now this is not Edom Amalek, okay? This is Amalek out of the Hamitic nations, okay? Different Amalek, one Amalek in the scriptures. All right, so this is Amalek out of the Hamitic nations, right? That rose up against Israel, right? Read.
And fought with Amalek, and Moses, Aaron, and went up to the top of the hill.
Right.
And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed.
Right.
Verse 12. But Moses' hands were heavy and put it on their hand. And he sat thereon. And Aaron and stayed up his hands, the one on the one side and the other on the other side.
All right, so you got to make a mental picture of this. Every time Moses lifted his hand, Israel stopped beating Amalek. Moses' hand gets tired, they start going down, Amalek start beating Israel. When they start realizing that he lift his hand, okay, we winning again. Put his hand down, we're losing again. So when they got this understanding, they went and got a stone and put Moses to sit on the stone. And and Aaron held up Moses' hands with the staff too tight so that we can prevail against our enemies. Okay, that's the kind of power that the Most High put in Moses, right? And his hands had to stay up, all right, for us to win this battle against Amalek. Okay, so they both was there holding Moses' hands up on his sides, holding his hands up, right? We know.
And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun.
And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun, meaning that his hands needed to stay up there all day. Moses had to have his hands up as the people was fighting. And they got to keep his hands steady or else they would lose the battle. All right, so his hands had to stay over his head. They would hold his hands up all day while they battled against Amalek. Because this is the only way we would have won that battle. Because without the Most High being on our side, we can't win the battle. Okay? When the Father's on our side, we can't lose. When he's not on our side, we can't win. He is our power. Okay? The more we realize that Yahweh is our power, the more we understand what we need to be productive, man. In the spirit of righteousness. Right? But we need to prosper in the spirit of righteousness. We got to do what the Father told us to do. All right, go ahead.
Verse 13. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Most High said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Right, so what he going to take you and destroy Amalek from under the heaven. Come on.
And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh Nissi. For he said, because the Most High hath sworn that the Most High will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Right, so what? We're going to be battling with these nations from generation to generation. All right, and we're going to continue to battle with them. So that ends the portion. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The Most High hand, hallelujah, for giving us a glorious portion. All right. So we have, what do we have? We have, we got a lot more portions to go before we're done. We're not done until March in the book of Exodus. All right. So remember to keep in mind, I think we're going to do a test halfway through Exodus. We'll do our first test. And then we'll do another test towards the end of Exodus. Right, guys? Con, yes, I do. You need a copy of it? All right, persistence. All right, in a minute I'll get them out, and I'll have a stack here. So anybody want a list of the portion. We'll have some up here that you can take as we break. All right, so like we said, that ends the portion. All praises be to the Most High, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for his mercy truly endure forever. All right, we're going to now do announcements. Do we have an announcement? Shabbat. You might show your mic. You don't gotta get down. You give me your microphone for the announcements and the announcements we got concerning dates and stuff. And oh no.
Hallelujah. All right, so far, February is the 15th, we got Yom Shemuel for the new moon. February 15th. No, I don't think the date has changed. I'll double check online. We got written down.
What was the spread up there?
I think we do February this year.
Well, once we break, I'll text you.
15, right?
They come to on the 15th at 4:05 p.m.
4 or 5 p.m.
Wouldn't that be the day before?
No, we'll probably do it that evening. I got 9. I think I got 9 o'clock.
But that evening would be another day, correct?
Right, but I got 15 at 9
I don't
p.m.
think we would have brought that late. But
Are you all going down? Yeah, we had it written down also too.
Hit you up and take it.
Right? Is that gone?
No, it was Maha.
Oh, okay. And so far, I think I got the 15th of February for the new moon.
At the next new moon?
Yeah. Samuel, what you got? Oh, you didn't start with February, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
March all the way down.
All right, well, we know Purim. When's Purim? I was up on the board.
Yeah, something on the board.
Yeah, we saw the dates.
Yeah, that's one of
the other board.
Yeah.
Class.
What's the date of Purim?
What you got? Okay.
Oh, it's on the board. It's on the board, the 27th.
27, February 27th.
Yeah.
No, 27 is Nicanor.
Nicanor. And then after was the 28th,
28, 29.
28th, and 29th.
There's no 29.
Sorry,
I mean, first, 28 and the first.
28th and first. So February 27th, 28th, and March 1st will be, first day will be Nicanor, and the second one will be the first day of Purim, and the second day of Purim, close. All right, and I guess we're coming up on the Passover too in March 30th. Or actually, before I go there, the month of Abib will be March 17th at evening. Okay, so that'll be March 17th at evening, 8 o'clock we'll be having here. And then March 30th at evening, we'll have the Passover, which will be in the Gold Choice Ballroom. So as usual, at sundown, we'll have the service for the Passover there. And of course, we go around the room, we get everybody involved with the Passover. Who's going to be doing what, helping out with the lamb, and what other things we got going on. Decorations, we got a lot of stuff going on this year for the Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread. Emmanuel?
Say, let everybody know the colors.
All the colors again is going to be for the Passover is going to be emerald green and gold. So those are the two colors. The decoration will be emerald green, gold, and white. But the colors that we're wearing is going to be emerald green and gold. So everybody know. Everybody heard me? All right. All right. I believe that's it. I think that's so far. The only thing we got coming up is the next one is the new moon. That will be before Purim. Huh? Oh yeah, of course. We always ask everyone for the donations. Remember, these lights are not on. This place is not here because Donald Trump is giving us a check every month. It's not going to happen. So we want this place to stay open. You have to continue giving our donations. Done? Done. All right. Please, as the church say, give generously, give generously. I think that, and we have, oh yeah, I want to clap your hands for the Most High bringing our visitors here. Hallelujah. All right. All the way from the motherland, Jerusalem. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. You know what I mean? It's a good thing, man. Praise Yah. Clap it. Just bringing it out that people live down the block and can't make it here. Somebody come all the way from Jerusalem, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I come from far. I come from Boynton Beach. Another brother come from way West Palm Beach. You know what I mean? Another brother come all the way from Cocoa Beach. So it's a long way, and everybody's making their way trying to come to the Sabbath. And us, we live right here. Some people live right in Fort Lauderdale, can't make it. That's bad. This place should be packed, both sides. It should be packed. As I always say in my class when I'm teaching, hey, when the bombs going on, you'll be here. But you're going to be scared. You're going to have no place to go but here. That's right. You're going to go to your mother's Baptist church when the bombs go off. You know, the preacher ain't going to tell you nothing. You're going to have to play that when you get in there. Right? So you got to come here and worship the Most High. Come on? All right. I think that's it. Huh?
All right, hallelujah. Yeah. All right, all praises. So, like he said, he gave the announcements. We celebrate every new moon. We celebrate every feast day that is written about in the Holy Scriptures. Right? We make provisions for these days. All right, so we will make provisions. We begin to make provisions, I believe, for the next new moon in about 2 weeks or so. So we'll make provisions for that day. The colors again for the Passover is gold and emerald green. Okay, emerald green. So we are going to provide ideas and things for garments and things of that sort so that we represent and we glorify this Passover. We glorify our Passovers, you know, because we got to give the Most High's glory. Come? And we also realize that the Passover, Shemai, the Passover is the also the Last Supper is all the same. All right, the last thing that Messiah did before he went on the cross is set the Passover. All right, in accordance to the law of the Heavenly Father. So that's what we set the Passover in that spirit. So we're going to glorify it and have a wonderful Passover this year. So with all that being said, we're going to send prayers and close out the Shabbat service. So to the congregation, I say, I imagine Wapanya Yerushalayim, stand and face Jerusalem. Imagine upon your Yerushalayim, stand and face Jerusalem. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Who's the power? Who's the power? By Hashem? By Hashem? Kuras, kuras, kuras. Kuras, kuras, kuras. Holy, holy, holy is the name. Abanawa. Yahweh. Holy, holy, holy is the name. Hamashiach. Yahushai. Kwam Abanawa Yahweh. Kwam Abanawa Yahweh. Kwam Mashiach Yahushai. Kwam Mashiach Yahushai. Kwam Yeshurala. Kwam Yeshurala. Barakatah Yahweh. Bahashem. Mashiach. Yahushai. Bahawa'ah. Dalanawa. Bahashabbat. Bahashalom. Barakashah. Shemai. Zapalayu. Barak. Arapah. Bakazak. Ramakan. Bashma'ayah. Akim, Akwatim, Barakashah, Yehovah, Bahashem, Mashiach, Yahushai, Yochak, Shetan, Yochak, Shetan, Yochak, Kol, Rai, Chayim, Yochak, Kol, Rai, Chayim, Barakashah, Barakashah, Barakashah. All praises be to the power of Amen of Jacob. For his mercy truly endured forever. We thank thee, Yahweh, for giving us this Shabbat day. We thank thee, Yahweh, for all the souls in this room. We thank Yahweh for returning our heritage unto us in these last days. We are those that observe this Shabbat day as a day that's been set aside of all the days of the week, a day that's been sanctified and made most holy unto us. Heavenly Father, we ask you bless everyone that is attending this Shabbat service. Bless them as they go to and fro. And be with them and put hedges around their households and their homes. And let thy law reign in their hearts and their soul and their mind. Father, Yahweh received the prayer that is written in Sirach, the 36th chapter, starting in verse 1. Have mercy upon us, O Yahweh, of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. Lift up thy hand against the strange nation, and let them see thy power. As thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us. And let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no power but only thou, O Yahweh. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Make the time short. Remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wonderful works. Let him that escape be consumed by the rage of the fire. Let them perish that oppress the people. Smite in sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say there is none other but we. Gather all the tribes of Yahweh together, and inherit thou them, as from the beginning. O Yahweh, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, whom thou hast named thy firstborn. O be merciful unto Jerusalem, thy holy city, the place of thy rest. Fill Zion with thy unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name. Reward them that wait for thee, and let the prophets be found faithful. O Yahweh, hear the prayer of thy servants, according to the blessing of Aharon over thy people, that all they which dwell upon the earth may know that thou art Yahweh, the eternal power. Let all that have breath praise Yahweh. 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 Bahashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, the water to the yard, Amen. Give the most high hand, hallelujah. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Just a man. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. In the mouth of babes, Yahweh perfected praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Yahweh perfected praise in the Yahweh perfected praise in the Yahweh perfected praise. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh Israel, in the mouth of babes, in the mouth of babes, in the Shabbat service tonight at Zion. We'll have first to the people. We'll go by at the same time.
Yeah, I know. But I kept on.
Just give me a website. I thought I had more, but I know I had more. The last time I looked at it was a nice little, that's a really, really nice week. This should be a No. You gotta go on www.loc.fffoc.org. We need to put this on our website. You do what our website is.